Chapter 84 The Terrifying Third Mechanical World, The Appearance of the Meteorite. Sensational Stude. You are listening at novelfull.audio. At rest, Su Bai took a look at Tianyuanji. By the way, take out the two newly acquired treasures. Hey, why Godzilla can't live on the volcano, but on the White Mountain instead? 3.5. Su Bai was in the sky and saw, in the northeast corner of the White Mountain in black water, a dispute is taking place. It turned out that the zombie tyrant brought the corpses such as Ini and Roshan zombies to the foot of Baishan, reason with Godzilla. This blessed land is the best place to raise corpses. Whether it is the dragon energy contained in it or the aura of the earth veins it gathers, it is very suitable for our corpse clan. 99. It is the chosen land given to us by the Creator, the tyrant argues rationally. Miss Alice, as the Commander-in-Chief and the Archbishop. She is fighting externally and has made great contributions to the world's master and the Tianyuan realm. This trophy, of course, belongs to us. 99. Don't listen, Wang Ba recites the scriptures. In response, the Temple Dragon Knights shook their heads. A new city was also built on the banks of the black water. The zombies grit their teeth angrily. There is friction between the two races. With such good strength, it is used outside. Su Bai was a little helpless. Turning around, another card was used, accompanied by the landing of spider silk in the sky. An ancient cave appeared in the bottom corner of the main continent. Above the cave is inscribed an ancient name. The wire hole. Several small black and white spiders crawled out of the cave and looked at the new world ignorantly. Try hunting and weaving, to avoid someone accidentally killing them. Su Bai gave orders to the more flexible silver-winged zombies. The West brought out a group of spider spirits. They are not low in intelligence and are good at weaving webs and silks. Silver Wing, you are responsible for leading people to guard the Ponzi cave, and don't let other beasts capture. 99. By the way, train the spiders and let them weave spider silk as a raw material every day. Suddenly hearing the voice of the Creator, Silver Wing was startled. She quickly responded. As ordered. Creator, our zombies have made great contributions to the Tianyuan realm. This mountain range should belong to us. 35. Saw the Silver Wing strange. The tyrant and others also noticed the Creator's concern. They clamored for benefits. Don't be impatient, there are many benefits in the competition of millions of world masters. The next blessed land will be yours again. 5. Su Bai reluctantly came out to mediate. At the same time, he held the eyeball in his hand and silently said use in his heart. In an instant, the pupil of 1,000 eyes turned into a meteor and was embedded in the sky. It was as if his eyes were gazing at everything. This made Su Bai's control of Tianyuan realm more careful. A wisp of the power of the world was absorbed into it as a daily reserve. Look, there are two suns. That little sun is much smaller in size. 99. I think it is the eye of the Creator, monitoring our inner heart at any time. The appearance of the eye of 1,000 eyes made the people who stayed behind heated discussions. The most exciting of them all, it is the evil-eyed tyrant who climbed up from the ground. They are most affected by the eye of 1,000 eyes. Many newborns have mental changes. Even in the dark, you can see clearly. What is that? That the evil-eyed tyrant hasn't come out for a long time. I accidentally saw the silver-winged zombies taking people to build a new factory in the West. Hear her explain that it is a textile factory specially built for spiders. The evil-eyed tyrant is very interested, especially when entering the Ponzi cave in person and seeing the exquisite spider webs and caves inside. I deeply feel that the spiders are natural underground experts and construction experts. Therefore, it desperately asked Silver Wing for the spider to open up the ground. This is a task assigned by the Creator himself, and every spider is a precious silk weaver. The silver-winged zombies refused, but he couldn't stand the entanglement of the evil-eyed tyrant. No way, or send a nest of small spiders to the ground. Through the pupil of 1,000 eyes, Su Bai found that it was really convenient for spiders to be underground. Not only is it convenient to move, but it can open up new fields at any time. You can also use cobwebs to set up various traps. The maison. The first floor of the basement is impregnable. It is very similar to the various dungeon copies in the game. If you take Minecraft as an experience, it is estimated that the underground labyrinth can wipe out all the challengers. After observing for a while, Bai regained his gaze. Get ready for the third tier of challenges. Look, Su Bai has entered the third floor. Other nightmare and difficult players were blocked on the third floor, and many players were bombed to death and left. The third layer tests the body and anti-explosive ability. Saw him move, the outside audience was immediately excited. In the pictures of Mei Wanqing, Qi Lansu and others, they are immersed in a steel city. There are heavy firepower robots rushing out from all corners of the city. The roar of artillery fire caused great casualties to the players. If the previous two layers are regular copies, from the third floor, even ordinary students. It was also beaten in waves. The gates of the world tower keep opening. A scolding student walked out. Nima, I deliberately chose the weakest ordinary dungeon. Why are there 1,000 artillery robots in the third level? They are easy to move, elusive, and have huge firepower. If I was not careful, all my men were bombarded by the group. Who said no? This year's exam questions are too difficult. Thanks to me, I also let the orcs equip shields in advance. In front of heavy firepower, they are like blank sheets of paper. Stude, we're all so hard. What about other nightmares, even hell? In the third level, about half of the students were brushed down. You know, everyone who can get here is the elite of the city. There were more than 500 students in the auditorium, and it became lively. They all looked at the standings, looking for their place. By the way, I pray that the remaining students die soon. When I saw Ma Bai, who was number 1, the students are blown away. His grades are thousands of times that of ordinary students. And this moment, it happened that Ma Bai entered the third level. When all the students and teachers see his challenge, even more of a breath of cold air, I saw a boundless metal city hit like a natural disaster. A fleet of cool and gorgeous cars came galloping. It's like a super race. But the scary thing is, in the process of speeding, cars have turned into robots. The rocket launcher on the shoulder gathers high energy. Before waiting for Dragon Knight, Alice and others to react, there was a flash of light on the opposite side. Boom! Endless artillery shells came head-on. The third pass, the enemy army is coming. Give them a super big surprise. Accompanied by heavy smoke, a line of writing appeared on the big screen. The third level of hell, the future city is fighting against your world will. Being bombarded by the vanguard, the actual combat bonus is weakened. Nima, what a fool! Su Bai quickly raised the divine tree scepter, mobilized the power of the world to fight against the future city. The metal floor underground seems to be invading constantly like Mercury. His green world struggles hard. What's more embarrassing is that the subordinates who were bombed head-on turned their backs. Even the Dragon Knights were dizzy for a while. Give yourself a kick as soon as you come. The world will struggle. Crucial moment. The world projection of Tianyuanji shows a divine eye sun. Su Bai gathered the power of the world on the sun. A sliver of bright sunlight shot out from it, and rumbled the oncoming front fire force. The world will fight is over. The enemy realm is strong. Tianyuan realm has a slight advantage, and the actual combat bonus is 10%. No negative bonus is good. Su Bai just breathed a sigh of relief. The next reminder made his heart sink. In the third level, the enemy will have long-range fire assistance. Please be careful not to be bombarded by fire. But you can also provide remote assistance. Note, only one shot from the solar energy projected by the world. Mission details. Planet Cybertron was originally a highly developed technological planet, and the World Master was a follower of the Fire God religion. During his reign, he used military force and constantly transformed cars, planes and other machinery as weapons, but then a meteorite fell from the sky, and he was degraded by the sniper attack of the superpower mechanical paradise in the universe. All the machines awakened their self-consciousness, resisted the World Master, adopted militarism, and constantly built weapons in an attempt to conquer other worlds. Please defeat the main force of the Cybertron planet, and enter the Iron Fortress of the main city, kill the leader Megatron, and destroy their production factories. It's a bit difficult to deal with, fighting with Tai Gang, no matter how you count it, it's a loss. Su Bai's expression was a little heavy. And Alice, who had just been hit by a long-range blow, quickly asked for support. Creator, the enemy army is strong and full of firepower. They have broken through the defense line and invaded our position. Moreover, they are very large, and the number of convoys cannot be seen. Apply for the 10,000 Dragon Knights to attack the whole army. Alice looked up. I saw a crowd of cars coming from all directions. There are also various types of fighter jets firing missiles in the air. At the beginning, everyone fell into a disadvantage. Agreed, and at the same time, I will transfer all the remaining 5,000 Temple Dragon Knights to you. Su Bai didn't dare to be careless. Faced with a stubborn robot, the sole attack of Evil Eye and Mind Flayer is obviously useless. To defeat the consciousness of the robots, it is necessary to break their perimeter defenses. Infiltrating the core destroys the consciousness program. If you have this skill, why not just unscrew its head? Considering that the enemy army has high technology, Su Bai urgently called in a group of intelligent zombies brought by the zombie tyrant. Pull out the modified golden brain, Alice. You take Audi and others to control it, and focus on bombing the enemy's rear. He turned over a whole cart. Letting others bomb is not his style. The intelligent zombies who heard the order took their places. Meanwhile, through the world passage, an airship with a height of several hundred meters and a whole body like a steel fort flew out. As soon as you enter the battlefield, rounds of cannons are fired from the bottom, greatly thwarted the arrogance of the enemy, gained some air dominance. My favorite car has arrived. 35. Alice quickly boarded the ship with a group of people who were not used to melee combat and took command of the overall situation. At the same time, the ground rumbled and shook. A steady stream of big dinosaurs came running from behind. Count the primitive dinosaurs. There are 30,000 dinosaurs in total. This is the most conventional force. The dark Greymon at the head was excited for a while. Commander-in-Chief, let me lead my men into the city and destroy their cannons. 35. Okay, I'll provide fire assistance in the sky, and instruct you not to rush too fast. This meteor ship is Alice's super weapon that assembled the Golden Brain, the Diamond Brain, and dismantled other space minecarts. In terms of firepower and air superiority, it has a very strong advantage. With its aid, a group of deformed planes in the sky were bombarded into the nest one after another. At the same time, Lisan Pitterman also led the Air Force to launch a counterattack. Ground battlefield. The torrent of steel came roaring. The group of cars, tractors and other machines kept transforming, waving tires and hammering hard at the Dragon Knights. The dark Tyrannosaurus roared suddenly. Under the astonished eyes of the audience, it transformed into a Mechagrammon X with 6 purple wings, missiles on its abdomen, and half of its body. Boys, follow me into the city. Mechanical Tyrannosaurus X swung its left arm, and saw the left arm burst out like a dart, caught the Autobots that destroyed the first floor. It rushed into the enemy army ahead of the pack. More than 10,000 Dragon Knights in the rear raised their dragon spears and roared, with fire aid, collide with the Autobots. To this point, only then did Su Bai reveal his background. Others looked back at the torrent of steel that was retreating, but was abruptly stopped by his Dragon Knights. The high-altitude fighter jet group was continuously smashed. The Air Force headed by the meteor ship reached the frontier main city as soon as possible, accompanied by explosive fireworks. A Dragon Knight rushed out. At their feet was a wrecked Autobot. Some primitive dinosaurs were bombarded by Autobots and kept falling down, but overall, the Su Bai army is still advancing. And this time, the number of people eliminated has exceeded 80%. Students keep coming out of the World Tower. The third level is too hard. The iron lump couldn't move, not to mention the occasional fire aid to disgust you. Even if I deal with it, I can't make it through, a teacher said clearly, unless you reach the rear as soon as possible and destroy the launch base of Cybertron. Otherwise, it is too difficult to attack the city with the aid of firepower. Indeed, and you see, the robot troops attacked in an orderly manner, and there were fighter jets covering them, and bombs were constantly being dropped. Obviously, it was under the control of a host computer. Compared with the first 2 levels, it was too difficult. Mechanical Heaven is one of the strongest cosmic forces. Coupled with their naval tactics and firepower tactics, this is the most difficult bone to crack. Teachers are talking about it. The principals watched as their students were constantly being eliminated. Also heartache. High-level officials including Ma County Chief and President Kai also felt that the third pass was a watershed. I estimate that 95% of the students will be eliminated. There is no opportunistic approach in this layer, and it is necessary to face the pressure of the enemy and attack the city head-on. Pang Qingshan sighed. His 2 new stars, Mei Wanqing and Shi Qianyan, had already reached a deadlock. Mei Wanqing, who led the previous game, has fallen behind to 4th place. On the contrary, Shi Qinyan's affinity will be better. She started with the only one remaining world aid. A monstrous flood was summoned, overwhelmed the robots' forward positions. Many snake girls passed the waterway under the leadership of the water monsters and kept advancing. The second became Qi Lansu. Get rid of the foul-level Su Bai. She is the strongest dark horse. Faced with oncoming fire, the snowman corps led by the Snow King was broken into pieces. After being bombed, piles of white snow turned into little snowmen. At the same time, they don't go head-to-head with robots. Instead, it was an attempt to corrode the robots' joints and core with wind and snow. Don't say it, it's really useful, because the 3rd level is too difficult. The quasi-gold creature Snow Girl at the bottom of Qi Lansu's pressure box also shot. A group of blizzards were summoned, which greatly covered the advance of the Yeti Legion, crash many fighter jets. Nightmare is so difficult, what about the hell level? Some students who were eliminated looked at the big screen. I saw an endless explosion of fireworks as the background. It's like a world war. Dinosaurs rushed into the city, wreaking havoc. The strange fortress overhead is the most eye-catching. The gun barrels were fired at the fighter groups, occasionally assisting the underground troops. Focus on sniper elite robots. Basically every hit from the meteor ship hits the enemy. Such a high hit rate is naturally due to the help of spiritual zombies, evil eyes, mind flayers, and others. This airship looks a bit like the Brain Demon's fleet, but it's not the same. The big people on the high platform are discussing. Many people think that the power of this air fortress is already equivalent to a peak gold that specializes in strengthening firepower. It's very similar to the most basic golden brain, but it's a secret airship that brain demons never spread. Su Bai guessed it was a fake. Jianheng from the House of Evolution observed. Even if it is a counterfeit, it is unbelievable to have such a strong firepower. I am afraid it will cost hundreds of billions of dollars, and it must have extremely high technology and engines. 99. President Kai loves it very much. Looks like the little guy has a lot of secrets, but that's a good thing. I'm getting more and more interested in him. P.S. I'm sorry, it's getting late and late. I owe 2 shifts, and I will make up for it in the 3rd shift tomorrow. Chapter 85. Shocked. Su Bai fled. The principals were silent when they saw it. /R. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Ma Magi looked at with a smile. The stronger Su Bai is, the happier he is, the more you can win glory for Guangcheng. And on the big screen, accompanied by the scrapping of one robot after another, Su Bai's points have reached a terrifying over 400,000. The second place is currently just over 100,000. After being suppressed by them, the Cybertronian rebels couldn't hold back. The forward position was accused of being broken. High energy is concentrated in the rear. Be careful. Alice, who was observing from a high altitude, quickly ordered the group to disperse. At the same time, from the distant sky, blazing missiles and shells were shot. The enemy firepower is here. The Dragon Knights who had already attacked the frontier main city suddenly burst into a commotion. Look for cover. Team Riots. Originally, the huge body of primitive dinosaurs gave them invincible strength, but on the other hand, it is also a living target. It is necessary to fight against powerful robots. It is absolutely impossible without a huge body. Don't be afraid, there's me too. Mechanical Greymon X stood on the ruins of the city. The mechanical structure of its chest unfolded. 2 jet black launch ports appeared. Ultimate Destruction Cannon. 2 jet black shark-headed missile heads flew out of it. There was a rumbling sound in the air. 2 shark missiles exploded, set the whole sky on fire. Thousands of shells exploded together. Such a huge fireworks feast makes the big screen transparent. Some students who are eliminated are terrified. Compared with their difficulty and ordinary difficulty, the firepower of the hell level is 100 times, 1,000 times. They couldn't even hold on to a wave of firepower. Take advantage of the cooling time and move forward quickly. Alice pilots the meteorite, fly into the depths of the futuristic city. To prevent falling into enemy mine traps, mind flayers and evil eyes were also sent out to coordinate operations. Even the zombie tyrant brought 100 Roshan zombies with a body like a hill to charge as a meat shield. For the 3rd pass, she is bloody. The 10,000 Dragon Knights spit fire all the way, with sparks and lightning. Bloody battles with robot armies. Robots have no fear. Often when their bodies are unloaded, it will also detonate the core. Great trouble for the Dragon Knights. Hundreds of Dragon Knights died in the third level alone. More than the previous 2 levels combined. This wave is a watershed, at least 90% of the candidates must be wiped out. 3.5. Su Bai observed the battlefield and judged. It's the same every year in the college entrance examination, to a certain extent. In order to pass the rate, problems will be issued, and the enemy's fire assistance is extremely troublesome, but morale is locked again, under the control of the mastermind behind. Robot corps ambushed in an orderly manner in every corner of the city to attack. Su Bai glanced at the wasp bombs and fighter jets flying from a distance, a simulation robot in the form of a wasp, although small in size, but it is made for one-time use. Hold the unicorn beast and explode. The enemy air power is also very strong. If not for Alice's suppression, the Dragon Knight below loses cover. It is estimated that he will advance against airstrikes at any time, with the advance of the Dragon Knights. A larger steel city that looks like a huge semicircular flying saucer as a whole waits quietly in front of it, like a prehistoric beast crawling on the ground. It is opening its mouth of blood, waiting for its prey to be thrown into its own snare. A large number of armored regiments and Autobot regiments guarded the city's periphery. In the sky is a dense group of fighter jets, waiting for a fatal blow to the enemy at any time. The mission completion rate is 49%. Your troops have entered the hinterland of the Cybertron planet, and in front of you is the second largest city of robots, the city of Sharp Blades. It is also the strongest shield that protects the capital's iron fort. Destroy it, conquer it. It will weaken the enemy's firepower by half and reduce the air force by 30%. See this. Su Bai was shocked, resolutely issued the oracle. Everyone, ahead is the enemy's stronghold, their arsenal, knock them down. Follow your orders. Boom the Autobots. Down with the mechanical revolution. That the Dragon Knights outside the city roared immediately. Sharp Blade City is a tough bone to crack, and currently top players such as Shi Qianyan are stuck at this level. The audience looked at the big screen. It felt like watching a super special effects movie. The most refreshing is Su Bai. Damn retro dinosaurs, you are the intruders. A loud mechanical sound came from the city. I saw a yellow head, more than 50 meters tall, and the robot leader who looked like a super excavator stood up to boost morale. On its head, there is also a purple hurricane fighter flying. The visitor is not good. Alice was watching from the meteorite. We are the ones who come, Mind Flayer Audi silently replied. Only the winner has the right to speak. 99. During the battle, Mechanical Greymon X, who was at the forefront, turned into a zombie Greymon again. What does it want? That just when the audience wonders, I saw a cruise missile carried by the zombie Tyrannosaurus suddenly shot towards the city of Sharp Blades. I came from afar to give you a great gift. After launching, as it transformed from a zombie form to a mechanical form, it shouted. Don't give them time to react, just give me a rush. That big guy belongs to me, and it looks like a power warrior. Leeshan Pitman eyed the excavator robot. With a flap of wings, it disappeared in place. The fighters are good enough to not let them threaten Mississippi. I'll deal with the air. 5. The tyrant, who had been silently observing, also took action. Blood wings spread out from his back, and demon horns grow on his head. The nails on both hands are slender, and the body is covered with a layer of silver scale armor, soaring into the sky together. Boom! The cruise missile hadn't hit Blade City yet. It was intercepted by the defense system in the city. As a heavy city of Cybertron, it is also a launch base for weapons and missiles. They are by no means short of counter-weapons, but when the robot is puzzled, faced with interceptor missiles, cruise missiles are the same as having eyes, bend in the air to avoid layers of blockades. Accurately hit the production center in the city, accompanied by a loud bang. A small cloud of orange-red mushrooms appeared. At the same time, Taiwan large robots such as yellow excavators, bulldozers and cranes rushed out of the city, crushed to dinosaurs. Let my vigorous legion remind you of the fear of being dominated by Lan Xiang. That the big boss named Lan Xiang is not like a robot at all. The character is extremely forthright and impulsive. Waving a big shovel arm, he rushed out of the city. Just a flick of the arm, it has already swept dozens of 10-meter-old dinosaurs into the sky. It is like a humanoid crane, with infinite power. Unstoppable across the battlefield, collapse. Suddenly there was a loud bang, a shock wave appeared, the huge Lanxiang robot crashed down, crushing many of the younger brothers to death. Its chest is flat, it was hit by an insect. What happened? Lanxiang's little head still hasn't reacted. Next, the body feels lighter than ever, then involuntarily flew away. When can I experience the feeling of flying? But I'm a heavy robot, not a fighter jet. Its little brain has yet to respond. On the other hand, the outside audience can see it clearly. I saw Li's-Han pedo beast raised its crawler with 4 arms, with a twist of his body, he struggled towards the city of sharp blades, at least 10,000 tons of body smashed into the city of sharp blades like a cannonball, collapsed many buildings. Who is it? Lanxiang robot stumbled up from the city, a stream of steam rose from the back of his head, he had never been so humiliated before. Not bad, very resistant to beatings, it seems that I can fight well. Li's-Han Pitman continued to fight Lanxiang fiercely, there was a great deal of movement on both sides, like a demolition team, the city was thrown into chaos, watching the mastermind who secretly commanded, the steam kept rising. Lanxiang, this idiot, fighting in the city, isn't he helping the enemy lie down? Ubiquitous on console screens, lines of blue data flashed by, it turned out to be the strength analysis of Li's-Han Bidwa, the human data model, after the master brain calculates the data between it and Lanxiang, arrives at a horrific fact, according to the data analysis, golden insects contain unimaginable power, which is larger than the power type peak gold. Only when the core technology is burned, and regardless of the cost, the Lanxiang robot can barely exert such power in a short period of time, in hindsight, will cease to exist. The bigger gap is the defense, flying, and agility of insects. When the two fought, the failure rate of Lanxiang was as high as 99.99%. This number is disappointing. Li's-Han Bidwa relied on the advantage of agility, it was as if he was playing, throwing Lanxiang around, and another battlefield, the battle robot named Supersonic is Cybertron's premier creation, both speed and attack power are top-notch. The host originally wanted it to decapitate and attack the meteor ship, but now he is haunted by the transformed tyrant. The supersonic twin blades are made of superalloy wings, supplemented by the sonic slash, the entire sky was divided into pieces. But that's under the knife, but it was blocked by the hands of the tyrant. The two masters are like two swordsmen fighting in a decisive battle, sparks and sword energy continue to flash in the air. How is it possible? My double-edged blade is the most proud technological creation in the city of sharp blades, and logically it will be invincible. 35. Supersonic in the confrontation is lost, the tyrant said proudly, I am a perfect creature, as long as all structures possessed by nature can be copied. I contain the molecules that make up everything, and at the moment of war with you, I have analyzed your wing structure, my materials and your average. Not to mention supersonic, even the main brain is caught in a bug. There was a whimper in the base, under the overload, a burst of black smoke rose. It is only a physical structure, how can it exert such a strong force in such a hard material? Difficulty is our evolutionary path going the wrong way. No, just technology is not enough. Comprehensive calculation, the probability of losing the city of sharp blades exceeds 85%. Carry out a backup plan and kill as much as possible the living forces. The main brain base hidden underground disappeared for a while. Hey, is the mastermind behind the scenes trying to escape? Alice, who also served as a guard boss, understood the enemy very well, seeking flowers, she rode the meteor ship and flew over the sharp blade city, the giant gun barrel protrudes from the bottom of the ship, launched with a bang, an earth-penetrating shell broke through the layers of levels and hit the main brain base with precision, with a burst of sparks and lightning. The line inside the base is broken, Alice noticed the fragmentation of the computer screen, and the last line of words flashed, don't be too proud, this is my last gift to you, I hope you like it. Alice just saw it, but she didn't react. Audi, who likes to do bad things the most, suddenly shouted and his face was dancing. Screaming, hurry up and escape, it issued an order to self-destruct. What? Isn't it fighting? Alice's face changed, the robot itself has more than 10,000 soldiers. She quickly drove the meteor ship to fly far away. At the same time, Audi informed all soldiers through the spiritual network, the highest order, all soldiers leave the battlefield and flee outside the city. What's the matter? I just got a little bloody. Mechanical Greymon spewed out blue flames. The armored regiment that burned into pieces was full of puzzles. This fellow, the Mind Flayer, is not trying to usurp the throne, right? Our form is very good, and we have already broken through the city gate. 99. There was also a commotion among the unicorns who were fighting the Air Force in the air. What happened? With one punch, the Lanxiang robot was smashed to the ground again. NaN EP87 was full of confusion. Flee! This is the order of the eldest. The tyrant, entangled by the supersonic speed, suddenly screamed sharply. As a perfect creature, he also inherited a strong premonition of danger. The tyrant's eyes reddened when he saw supersonic. It's like being invaded by a virus. Ignoring his defenses, he desperately slashed at him with two swords. A burst of high energy of destruction converges in the supersonic core. Something's wrong, everyone run away. A bunch of lunatics. The insect sense of NaN EP87 came into play, just wanted to flutter away. The Lanxiang robot, which was stunned by it, burst out from nowhere. He stood up suddenly and hugged the NaN EP87. At the same time, every corner of the battlefield, the Dragon Knights were surprised to find that their opponents were red-eyed. One by one, they rushed over and embraced them regardless of the loss. What happened? Is the enemy army infected with the virus? Su Bai's subordinates have hackers. The audience was puzzled. He looked back at other people's siege battles, in the stalemate of being besieged by robots. Students are constantly being eliminated. What remains at present are basically elites from various schools, but even the elites died horribly, in front of robots who are not afraid of death, not going as far as possible. You can only move forward one step at a time. 90% of students have been eliminated so far. The student viewing platform was overcrowded. Everyone was discussing the exam questions. They scolded the perverted teacher who asked the question. Seeing the strangeness of Su Bai's battlefield, he looked over curiously. Another exclusive mode for hell difficulty? Maybe it's because Bai is too strong, and the hidden plot that is attracted is the same as just now. 99. Many students look at the big screen with mixed feelings, among them, Zhang Ning, Hu Mimi, Lu Renjia, Zhou Duan, and Qing Cheng from number 3 middle school are the most complicated. They were all eliminated, and Ben was secretly despised by them. Su Bai, who thinks it's just shit luck, is still tackling key problems, and topped the first throne, shining brightly. Su Bai, to say who is in the most uncomfortable mood, except for Wang Cang, who is a little crazy, it is naturally a tiger. He chooses hard mode, persevered to the 3rd level and was eliminated. The total score is 116th. It's been pretty good, but compared with Ma Bai on the first list and Chi Lansu on the second list, yet so small, he knew that the backs of the two were no longer what he could look up to. Remember a few days ago, I dared to challenge myself. He also tried to eat swan meat and pursued Chi Lansu. Xianhu blushed for a while. After the college entrance examination, the fate of the three will take different paths. Look, Su Bai's troops have fled. 99. Suddenly, Hu Mimi's words awakened Xianhu. I saw a commotion in the audience. Xianhu looked up. On the big screen, the Dragon Knights who had originally attacked the City of Sharp Blades had already made a clear breakthrough. At this time, it was the same as having 2 legs less. Ukrainian retreated. Some Dragon Knights who are entangled don't even need weapons. Run out of town. The Commander-in-Chief's meteorite rushed out quickly. A head of robot chased and killed with red eyes. Just a few seconds, the battlefield has been turned upside down. What's going on? What happened? There was a commotion in the audience. Don't say ordinary people, even the leaders on the high platform were full of confusion, discussing each other. Is the red-eyed robot so fierce? President Kai was puzzled by the Taoist priest. Chapter 86 Armageddon, the 18th century steam-style iron fort capital, /R. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Not possible to be. Something seems to have come to mind. Jianheng's expression changed. The favorite thing for mechanic to do. Hear this, the leaders and principals present were all discolored. Why is the mechanic called the stone in the toilet, smelly and hard? It was hard to win. They would rather blow themselves up, nor will it leave a hair for you to study, precisely because of master brain control. from top to bottom, all of them are not afraid of death, beating them is naturally thankless, not waiting for everyone to react. Boom dash. A super loud bang resounded on the big screen. I saw that the city of sharp blades with tens of thousands of robots actually exploded. A bright mushroom cloud is rising, endless light and heat flood the big screen. The crowd, whose eyes were full of tears, was once again devastated. Why are there tears in my eyes? The audience asked themselves with tears in their eyes. Experts can find it. Under shock waves, involuntarily, the Dragon Knights crashed to the ground one after another. The originally good robot army has also become a self-exploding bomb. Desperately take away Ma Bai's subordinates. On the standings, Su Bai's points flipped. In the blink of an eye, it has reached the terrifying 600,000 points. But he wasn't happy at all. Look at the sky full of explosion clouds. He held the divine tree scepter several times and wanted to make a move, but stopped it. The 3 drops of divine power prepared for the college entrance examination cannot be wasted here. There is the main city behind, and there are even 2 more difficult levels, and even the abyss mode. If you use it now, you really can't stop it when you meet a critical moment. Take a deep breath. Su Bai looked at the blasted earth. He felt a weakness in himself. The loss this time is too great. Mainly because he did not expect the mastermind behind him to be so cruel. Seeing can't win, just try to kill the three living forces as much as possible at one time. Many defenders in the city, including robots in the production workshop, have all become abandoned. In smoke, a dusty meteor ship flew out. Reporting to the creator, the overall core troops did not suffer too many casualties, but the outermost layer of the vanguard was killed a lot. Alice reported the loss to him. Count the number of casualties, make some repairs, and continue to advance to the Iron Fort. Be careful of the enemy's ambush of mines and firepower along the way. 3-5. Su Bai was silent for a while and then replied. The chaotic battlefield quickly became busy. Dinosaurs and dragon knights in the smoke were seriously injured. At this time, the evil eye priests, mind flayers, and other priests came into play, under the leadership of the bishops, performed group therapy, greatly relieved the pressure of the wounded and minimized losses. His preparations are very sufficient. So many divine arts are not a small price. Intense light not only healed the dinosaurs, including the eyes of the audience. President Kai and the others saw the magic techniques used by the priests at a glance. Principal Chen smiled and said, "This kid is smart. He will use all the money he has, and invest in himself." But even if there is a healing magic, there are not a lot of people in this group. He is taking the line of elite soldiers, and each one is precious. Pang Qingshan felt that the impact of this wave was very serious. When Alice counted the casualties and reported to Ma Bai, his heart sank. More than 5,000 casualties including dinosaurs, many seriously injured, need to make fun of the projection and go back. At present, there are 30,000 troops available, including other troops. It can be expected that, along the way, robots will set up a net. Especially in the capital, the Iron Fort, they have no way to retreat. 35. Listen to Alice's report. Su Bai calculated, the main force of the attack was careless, and the losses were not small. Fortunately, the Air Force and the spiritual zombies suffered very few casualties. Speaking of which, why the Evil Eye and the Mind Flayer have only killed a few in battle, they are too treacherous. 99. That he himself ranted. However, this battle also revealed that Tianyuanji was facing the dilemma of the high-tech world. The college entrance examination is all-round. Su Bai guessed that if someone went the internet path exclusively, the virus-shaped monster has been cultivated, and it is estimated that it is very dominant. This shortcoming will be remedied later. At present, we can only pack up and continue to work hard. In this one, the tyrant also suffered a lot. He was pulled by the supersonic and blew himself up. Fortunately, the perfect creature's name is not for nothing. As long as the tyrant is given energy and materials, it can be quickly repaired. In this one, Alice accidentally discovers that snowflake silver is very useful for the repair of the tyrant. His body is like flowing mercury, quickly absorbing the essence of silver. Creator, there is another small matter, in the self-destruction just now. That Lanxiang robot wanted to die with the power god Baido. It was carried by the power god Pedo Beast and flew out of the encirclement. It's still alive, you see how to deal with it. Alice pointed, and the yellow robot with both hands tied to the shovel said. Let go of me. I'm going to fight to the death with you. The city is in the presence of people, the city is dead and the people are dead. What about that monster? Stand up for me and I'll crush you. Lanxiang excavator has been babbling and cursing, annoying the dark Tyrannosaurus. A dragon tail swept across the robot's face. Why didn't he blow himself up? Su Bai asked in surprise. Audi just dismantled its self-destructing hidden energy source, Alice explained. Su Bai glanced at the broken metal material on the ground. Among the highlights are the wings left behind by supersonic speed. Even in the violent explosion, it was still undamaged. It didn't brag before. It is indeed the most proud creation of Sharp Blade City. It's a pity to kill it like this. It would be great if it were used in the infrastructure of the Tianyuan realm. It's a pity that this isn't an order from Ma Bai in the real world. Anyway, if you can't take it away, you take someone to dismantle it, and collect the information and metal materials of the next Sharp Blade City by the way. On the meteor ship, help the Dark Tyrannosaurus to transform and strengthen its mechanical body. Yes, do you want it to be a meat shield? Alice asked secretly. Su Bai nodded. Anyway, it is full of iron lumps and has different shapes, and it can also adapt to the metal field. In order to prevent another explosion and ambush, let him be the vanguard. 5.So arranged, the mind flayers and evil eyes naturally agreed happily. Tyrannosaurus himself is also very happy. So after cleaning up the battlefield, some information was entered into the Tianyuan Shinji of the meteor ship, relying on the computing power of the diamond brain. It is tailored for the Tyrannosaurus beast. It is to thicken the wings and add jets. It also installed melee weapons and dragon cannons on its arms, transformed less and less like living things. During this process, the talent of the heavens and the world also took effect. When last, Su Bai saw that he was 40 meters tall, and his body was covered in metal. From head to toe, it is equipped with hundreds of cannons, and there is an infinite cannon in the left hand. In the right hand there is a 40-meter dragon soul sword with a dragon soul hovering. Really, the big sword that lets you run 39 meters ahead of schedule. The word invincible is written all over his body. What form is this transformed into? Su Bai opened the panel of the Tyrannosaurus beast. Name, Mechanical Greymon X Modified Body, Level, Gold Level, Category, Unknown Transformer, Talent Skills, Dragon Clash, Million Cannons, Dragon Strangulation, Introduction. This is a primitive dinosaur leader. After several transformations, his body has become a half-data life and has been strengthened at an epic level. From the point of view of combat power and physical quality, it is much stronger than the general gold level, especially the firepower and metal defense, making its survivability comparable to the diamond level. Very good, Tyrannosaurus, you are the vanguard of our army and the best candidate to conquer the Iron Fort. Su Bai came in person, added a big buff to Tyrannosaurus. Ow! The mechanical Tyrannosaurus roared and shouted. Playing for you is my highest honor. I want to crush those iron lumps that love to explode. Very good, very spirited. Su Bai flew up and ordered him to set off. With the earth shaking again, the army pulls out. This time, the Dragon Knights were furious, with the belief of revenge for the compatriots. When the robot is seen from a distance, it throws the dragon spear. Air forces also provided fire assistance. Along the way, the team encountered many obstacles. Su Bai was keenly aware. The main brain is to arrange the mechanical legions of various places on the route leading to the Iron Fort, makes the army exhausted. In order not to cause too many casualties, I apply for one of the two to fight. In departure, Alice secretly applied to Su Bai. Su Bai nodded clearly. It does make sense. You should focus on digging out the hidden plot of Cybertron. Apart from the leader Megatron and the main brain, there may be a very deep hidden boss, which is the battle focus. 5. After thinking about it, hidden bosses are hard to come by. Just like the big questions in the exam, everyone knows that there are many points given, but there are also many difficulties. So Su Bai added. It's too difficult to find hidden plots, and if it's too time-consuming, forget it. It's better to solve the enemy early and avoid losses. 99. Okay, Alice continued to drive the meteorite up. She had vaguely seen an ancient city towering at the end of the horizon. Along the way, Dragon Knight, Evil Eye and others did not see a drop of green, all covered by grey roads, and even the scrap iron ruins on both sides. and an abandoned robot that reveals a corner, and the capital whose traces are visible in the distance. Compared with other cities in Cybertron, it is too outdated. When Alice first saw it, there is even a feeling of finding the wrong one. If it is said that the frontier positions they attacked before, the Sharp Blade City is a high-tech city, every corner of the city can't wait to be covered with a layer of metal casing. High-rise buildings and roads are all reflective of metal, which is bright and dazzling. Obviously, at first glance, it is a city with a high degree of civilization. The style of the Iron Castle is the steam of the 18th century. The whole city is dark and old, there are no new alloys and glasses. Only one towering chimney, in the endless black mist erupting, has not yet entered. There was already a smell of sulfur. Many people heard the rumbling sound from the city. The whole city turned out to be powered by steam, keep burning furnaces and excavating mines. It doesn't really matter. Are they going back to basics? Robots also do this. No wonder the Lanshan group was reused just now, and they all had to do military service in the capital. The audience in front of the TV discussed with gusto. The tavern will also discuss with friends how exciting the boss battle will be. Will the robot blow up the Iron Fort again? The style is really unique. I thought it was some kind of high-tech. Principal Bai of 10th Middle School shook his head. Has stepped off the platform, because the last student of 10 High School was also eliminated. It doesn't make much sense for him to stay there. You are the worst group of students I have ever brought. Principal Bai called the students he brought to the waiting room and scolded him severely. This time, no student dared to respond, because they are indeed the worst batch of the 10 over the years. Only Wang Cang, who has not recovered, shouted. It's not over yet, I'm still on the list. Principal Bai looked at the proud students pitifully. At present, it has been squeezed to 19th, and it seems that it is getting late, but what can't be done, can only be surpassed by others. Ma Bai's speed is the fastest, and I don't know if other people's iron castles are also steam style. Principal Chen felt a little strange. How did the author of the question design it? The capital of the high-tech city, you gave me a steam capital? It doesn't make sense. Looking at the scale, it's not that big. Maybe it's not as good as Sharp Blade City. It doesn't even have a mountain, and it's too poor. The audience was also talking about it. Each copy of the world is real, and some, or teachers, extracted some world fragments and copied them on the world tower. Ma and others know more. It does feel reasonable. It is even suspected that several similar fragments are fused together. It's really nostalgic, and it's not that big. After Su Bai observed the Iron Fort for a while, he felt a little relieved, observed that the enemy was stationed outside the city. The Iron Fort also flew out a super battleship that was 500 meters in size. I saw the battleship door open. The dense number of self-destructing wasp robots and fighter jets flew out one after another. Mechanical sound came out of the super battleship. My master asked me to ask you, why did you attack us for no reason? Poor guy, he doesn't even know he is virtual, Alice replied via the meteorite broadcast. Who are you? Let Megatron come out. The previous Big Bang has not yet settled for it. I am an air carrier, the Iron Fortress No. 3 robot. Defeat me first. Goodbye master. Just finished. Helicopter carriers have not talked about Wuda's launch of missiles. Alice was not to be outdone. The meteorite flew high in time. At the same time, the Air Force headed by Lieshen Pitterman was released. For this big fight, she also arranged Evil Eye and Mind Flayer as pilots, and she could also drop bombs. By the way, seeing the high-level talk collapse, the mechanical Tyrannosaurus roared excitedly, and was about to lead the charge. There was a sudden shock in the Iron Castle. The tallest chimney spewed black smoke. 3.4. The square gates opened wide. Cars, transporters, tractors, bulldozers, even steam engines and electric vehicles, all the mechanical units you can think of have become mechanical warriors rushing out. The most striking is naturally a blue metal giant riding a robotic dinosaur and holding a complex metal giant sword. There is a beautiful golden pattern on his head. Clustered together, forming a crown, its name speaks for itself. I'm Megatron, all of you heretics, all of you here are buried here today. He held the cool metal giant sword high and pointed to the sky, as if not talking to other people, but looking directly at God. Rude guy, I'm going to blow you up. The mechanical Tyrannosaurus lit up the dragon soul sword, thinking about who is stronger and tougher between the two. hearing its voice, Megatron turned to look. Suddenly he burst out laughing. What a mighty dinosaur with weapons all over his body, which suits my appetite. I want to catch you as my new mount. After speaking, he patted the mechanical dinosaur under the seat. The meaning is self-evident. When did Mechagrammon suffer such insults? He is the oldest tribe of primitive dinosaurs. I'm going to screw your head off and use it as a sphere. He growled, rumbling forward. When the Dragon Knights were roaring and charging, Megatron, however, held high the metal greatsword and shouted. Last wave of missiles fired. In an instant, the iron fort seemed to come alive. A flash of light emerged from the rear, a sharp whistle echoed in the sky, hot steam rises from the city. In an instant, cover this old steam city like heaven and earth. Thousands, no, tens of thousands, do not. The audience widened their eyes. Hundreds of thousands of missiles, rockets, and artillery shells ignited and detonated in one go. This seems to be the last elegy of a world.